We hear a lot about the magical mountain water or ancient spring water in whiskey marketing.
Darker whiskey doesn't automatically mean that the whiskey is richer, older, or better. Hi everyone, Swati and Vinayak from the Dram Club. Welcome back to our channel where we dive deep into the world of whiskies and spirits from across the world.
And today we are going to bust some of the biggest myths and lies about whiskey. Things people say with 100% confidence and zero accuracy.
Myth number 1. All whiskies taste the same.
No, not even close. Whiskies can taste fruity, floral, nutty, salty, even savory, depending upon where they come from, how they are distilled, for how long they have been matured, what cask they have been matured in, etc. For example, a smoky whiskey from Islay like the Ardbeg tastes nothing like a fruity space cider like the Glenlivet. So if you think all whiskeys taste the same, you probably haven't explored enough. Myth number 2. Older is better.
Well, older doesn't always mean better. It only means that the whiskey has spent more time in the barrel. Sometimes older whiskies can get more woody and have more tannins, because of which the flavor might be off. A well-made 10 or a 12-year-old whiskey can sometimes be much better than a tired 25-year-old. So older doesn't necessarily mean better. Age is just a number. It's the flavor that matters. Myth number 3. Expensive whiskies always taste better.
Price and taste are two very different things. A whiskey can be expensive because it's rare, limited edition, old, or comes in a fancy packaging. It doesn't automatically mean that it will be better for you. So taste what you enjoy, not what your wallet says you should enjoy. Whiskey ages in the bottle.
Again, a big myth. Whiskey ages only in the barrel, soaking up the flavors from the wood. Once the whiskey is bottled, the aging process stops, unlike wine, which continues to age in the bottle as well. So, if you have a 10-year-old whiskey which was bottled maybe 12 years ago, it doesn't make it a 22-year-old whiskey. It still is a 10-year-old whiskey. Myth number 5. The water used to make the whiskey makes a big difference on the flavor.
One of the biggest marketing gimmicks ever. We hear a lot about the magical mountain water or ancient spring water in whiskey marketing. But here's the truth. Water has no impact, or at best, minimal impact on the eventual flavor of the whiskey. Water is mainly used for mashing and reducing the alcohol strength when the whiskey is being bottled. Most of the flavors in the whiskey come from aging in oak barrels. However, steps like fermentation and distillation also impact the flavor of the whiskey. Single malts are better than blended whiskies.
Single malt simply means whiskey made at one distillery. Blended whiskies are meticulously created by blending malts and grain spirits from various distilleries, which is a true art form. Great blends like the Johnnie Walker Blue Label, Dewar's Double Double Range, Hibiki are a proof that even blended whiskies can be absolutely world class. So don't let the labels fool you. Myth number 7. Higher ppm means a smokier whiskey.
ppm or phenol parts per million tell you how smoky the malted barley is before fermentation. It does not tell you how smoky the eventual whiskey would be. Distillation techniques and maturation in oak barrels play a big role in deciding how smoky or peaty your whiskey would be. And here's a pro tip. If there are two expressions coming from the same distillery, the older whiskey would be less smoky because peat over a period of time diminishes. Adding water or ice to whiskey is sacrilege.
You drink whiskey the way you like it. Neat, with water, with ice, with soda, or even make a cocktail out of it. Whatever is really enjoyable for you. There is no one right way for having whiskey. And if someone's telling you that, they're clearly gatekeeping your whiskey experience. Myth number 9. You can always compare two whiskies directly.
Not at all. Whiskies are like people. They're shaped by where they are born, how they were raised, and their own unique character. You cannot directly compare a smoky Islay whiskey to a mellow Japanese whiskey or a bourbon to an Indian single malt. Whiskies are made with different grains, matured in different barrels, and aged in completely different climates. Also, aging works differently around the world. A 10-year-old Scotch from Scotland's damp and cold climate will mature much slower than a whiskey being matured in hotter climates of India or Kentucky. Darker whiskey is always older or better.
Darker whiskey doesn't automatically mean that the whiskey is richer, older, or better. The color of the whiskey can be dark for many reasons. For example, if the whiskey was matured in a wine cask or a sherry cask, it will tend to have a darker color. Or even if it was colored with caramel coloring to standardize the color of the whiskey. Some light colored whiskies can pack a lot of flavor, and some dark colored whiskies may not live up to their looks. And here's another interesting fact. If a barrel has been used multiple times, the first fill will have a darker color compared to the second or the third fill. And that's why darker whiskies may not necessarily be richer, better, or tastier. So there you go, 10 whiskey myths busted.
Remember, whiskey is about pleasure, discovery, and personal taste, not snobbery, not price tags. If you have enjoyed this myth-busting video, like and subscribe to our channel for more whiskey wisdom, and let us know in the comments which whiskey myth you've been buying into.